So it actually started the day after our gig at the Matheson Fall Fair Dance on September 2nd. We'd had a few drinks that night, and so the next day when Sean woke up with a really bad headache, we just chalked it up to it was just from having a few drinks. And the headache just kept going on all day. And then even on Monday when he woke up, he still had a really, really bad headache. So then he started thinking maybe it was from all the dental work he had the week before. And throughout the next few weeks, he just kept having like really bad migraines, really bad headaches, and Sean never gets any headaches. So then we knew something is up. And then on Saturday, September 16th, we were supposed to play for my daughter at the camp. And this was the first time that we really noticed something was wrong. That morning we had our coffee in bed like usual. All of a sudden, out of the blue, he felt really nauseous and he thought he was going to throw up. So he got up and he went to the bathroom and he seemed very confused. And then I heard a bit of a bang. So I went to the bathroom to see what was going on, and he was actually behind the door twirling around and looking up into the corner. And he looked super confused. And then he went into the shower. He turned around in the shower, and then he came back out. I asked him what he was doing. He said he had to pee. So I told him, like, you're in the bathroom, so go now. And then he was like, oh yeah. And then he peed, and then he just walked right past me to leave the bathroom. I thought he was dehydrated. I've seen my brother have an episode before where he was dehydrated and did some crazy things. So that was the first thing that came to my mind was he's dehydrated, he's hallucinating, he doesn't know where he is or what's going on. And then he went back to lay down, so I followed him. And this time I pulled out my camera because I could tell something is off, something is not right. I looked over at him, and again he started looking up into the corner, and his eyes were like going back and forth. I'll show it right here.
Holy shit. It's animals, so it's... Whoa. Huh. It's different. Huh.
Animals.
Wow. Yeah.
Babe.
Yeah, I'm looking at that.
At what?
I don't think that's making me sick, but...
Babe, what is it that you're looking at?
Can you just calm down for a minute, please?
Are you okay?
I think so.
That's when we knew that there was something definitely wrong. So we canceled the gig because there was no way. Sean said, like, once he finally came out of it, he seemed very exhausted, tired, just really, really off. So I canceled that gig for that day. The next morning, we were both supposed to lead worship together. I went by myself. Sean just wasn't feeling up to it at all. He still had a migraine, and he knew that there was something wrong. So right after church, I came home to pick him up so that we could go to Emerge, because at this point, we gotta get checked out. So we drove to Emerge in Timmins, and we were there for maybe a few hours, and they ran some tests, and that was the CT scan, right? Yeah. CT scan. And everything was just probably dehydrated, and there was nothing wrong. So we just went home. And throughout that week, Sean ended up going back to work. He was having these weird, what was it, like hallucinations underground?
The drive to work was me veering off the road quite a bit. Carpooling with Cody.
That's right. But even underground, I remember you saying that it felt like you were in a dream, and it was just really, really weird. So then again, we were like, okay, something is wrong. And I think Thursday, the 21st, September 21st, he's like, okay, no, tomorrow when you go to work, drop me off at Emerge. I didn't just drop him off. I went to Emerge with him. That was Friday, September 22nd. And that's when we were there for like all day. It was like an 11-hour day or something. And this time they gave him an MRI. And at that point, this time I showed the doctor the video that I had just taken. And he got in at like 6 p.m. for the MRI. And by about 11:30 p.m., that's when the doctor came in and dropped a bomb on us. Literally in a matter of like 3 minutes, he says, okay, so you're not crazy. There's definitely something wrong. We did find a mass on your brain, and we were pretty sure it's a tumor. And so I'm gonna have to revoke your driver's license. You need to be off work indefinitely, and you're gonna have to go see the neurosurgeon.